we've moved into an unsustainable place. And I think we need to look toward the past for some of the solutions. Because in the past, we grew food in a way that was sustainable. We thought about how the soil would benefit from that future. Right now, we're destroying the soil. The modern farming techniques are absolutely destroying the planet and contributing to climate change. I think we have a lot to learn from the indigenous people because they worked with the land. They looked at the way nature worked and they tried to work with it rather than against it. Support the farmers trying to create a better future. Buy local veg boxes. Go out and see the farm, see how it's grown. Talk to your politicians, demand that they make change and they make access to healthy organic food more of a priority.
I think we need to know that the future is children, and if we don't teach children and show children an alternative to what might be presented to them as the easy option, then we're letting the planet down. We don't need to have vast agricultural landscapes with monocropping, and you can do things in your backyard.
Did start from that love of swimming, and that I think everyone should have access to a body of water. And I understand that not everyone might like swimming, but I think everyone deserves to have access to a clean waterway, especially people in Western Sydney with climate change, with the urban heat island effect. Western Sydney can be 10 degrees hotter than the coast, and it's not feasible for people to travel to the beach. I think that with the majority of the world's population living in urban areas, we need to make them sustainable, which means enhancing and protecting the natural environment that's there. And rivers play a huge role. They shouldn't be piped, they shouldn't be put under concrete or underground, they shouldn't be treated as rubbish dumps. They can be the central artery that connects our communities in urban areas, and I think that's going to be really important for the future, especially with climate change. It's not only about mitigating the impacts of heat and increased temperature, but also dealing with flooding and extreme weather events, and sort of making cities able to withstand the changes that are coming ahead for us.
What we do in the upper end of the catchment, how we treat each other, how we treat wildlife around us is essential to our health and well-being. Cleanup's a really band-aid end of pipeline solution. Halfway through the cleanup, I see people get maybe a little bit despondent, and then their thinking starts switching to, what else can I do to make a difference? I think more people care. Urban growth is increasing all the time, so we've got more and more people living along the creek. And if 1% more people care each year, maybe because of the work that we do, then that's many, many more homes on the creek while helping every country.
My ultimate goal is that food gets sold on nutrient density rather than on cents per kilo. When a farmer gets paid cents per kilo, he's going to try and make those kilos way more. And the best way to increase the weight of something is with salt and water. It's not very nutritious. So most of our foods have become less and less nutritious, and consequently we've got all these problems. If farmers get paid for the nutrient density of the food rather than the weight of the food, then we've got an incentive to go out there and start building the fertility of the soil up, and then it all starts fixing itself. The soil doesn't blow away, it doesn't wash away, so you're getting rid of erosion problems. Then the insects get into balance, so you don't need to spray for them. It becomes a nice little utopia, I suppose, and that's my dream of the future.
It's very good, very interesting.
Love the concept. Love the concept. But very hard to compete against a large industrial commercial.
Ah, exactly.
environment.
Yeah,
Too hard.
exactly.
It's a shame, but you know.
First Nations management of sea country has happened for over 65,000 years. Most of us from communities are saltwater people around the coastline. We're born from the sea and we go back to the sea.
It is our moment. And I think throughout history, people have had their moments. Our moment is the ecological crisis. We can either turn away from that and say, sure, you're right, someone will fix it, or we can get involved. Getting involved is not always a happy place to be, because getting involved means you become face to face with the facts that we're using resources for 2.5 planets, that our atmosphere is changing, causing massive destruction to the weather. Wildlife is shrinking to the margins. I have experienced and continue to experience periods of ecological grief where I wonder how long nature can hang on, and I wonder about how human society can continue. I want to be with people who see that there's a task to be done and to play their part, because it's going to take generations of good people to do good things before there's going to be a shift. I have grandchildren and children, but I think the view has to be beyond that. We have to start thinking about generations 1,000 years from now, and we need to see the birds and the lizards and the snakes and the spiders as kids.
From the outside, Golden, like many other country cities and towns, probably looks like a rather conservative, we don't care much about what's going on, just leave us to ourselves type town. But I think what the support the community has given to this community-owned project demonstrates that that is an inaccurate view of Golden. And if enough people in enough cities and towns, let's just stick to Australia for now, get behind and demand that at particularly at the federal level that there is a consistent strategy to act extremely urgently on climate change, then maybe there is still some chance.
Join the community. It's so helpful to do it with other people, and you get so many other benefits from that, which is like the casual education you get from conversations you have with other people there, and just the fun of meeting other people, sharing values, and also other people working on cool